Welcome to Intuitive Dawn, illuminating your day from within. I'm Psychic Medium Jamie Lynn, and today we're going to talk about self-love, the need to love ourselves before we can love others, and working on our heart chakra and healing that and opening that and clearing it. So I wanted to read Dorrene Virtue's book. It's Ascended Masters, or Angels and Ascended Masters. And I'll read that, and then we can, talk about self-love. And it's important to love ourselves because love is the highest vibration there is. So when we love ourselves, we attract that energy into our lives. So it's interesting. I'm going to read about Kwan Yin. And Kwan Yin is an ascended master that has to do with self-love. So we're gonna talk about her today. And so this book is called Archangels and Ascended Masters. It's by Dorrene Virtue. I know she's no longer in this field, but that's okay. We can still take what she gave us before she left the field, and they're pretty interesting nuggets. So and this is in regards to self-love. So Kwan Yin is one of the most beloved and popular Eastern divinities. She's a physically and spiritual, beautiful Chinese goddess of mercy, compassion, and protection. Her name means she who hears prayers. And Kwan Yin does, in fact, hear and answer every prayer we send her way. Kwan Yin is both a goddess and an ascended master, and her name means enlightened being. And so Kwan Yin has a deep love for humanity. And after she attained enlightenment, instead of ascending to Buddhahood, she chose to remain in human form until every one of us becomes enlightened. She devoted to helping us fully open up our spiritual gifts, attaining profound knowledge and enlightenment, and to help reduce world suffering. It is said that the mere utterance of her name affords guaranteed protection from harm. So I like that. And I'm just going to read a story about Dorrene Virtue's experience with Kwan Yin. And actually, her friend Mary told her this story. And it's about her interaction with Kwan Yin. So here we go. I was in Hawaii, and I had just purchased a crystal pendant of Kwan Yin. And right after wearing the necklace, this lady started to hear Kwan Yin talk to her in a soft, soothing Asian voice. On the last morning of her vacation, she was awakened by Kwan Yin telling her to go outside for a walk. She sat on the porch, but was urged to walk. I did just that, carrying a portable recorder with her headphones, as before iPhones, through which she heard beautiful Hawaiian music. She noticed some beautiful flowers on the ground that were pink, and it was a sign of love. That's what it meant to her. And she would normally pick these flowers and immediately put them in her hair. But things were different today. She just held the flower in her hand. As I neared the waterfall, she heard Kwan Yin tell her that she was to have an initiation of self-passion far beyond self-love. The moment was very sacred, as she knew she was taking a vow that was more intense than anything she'd ever done before. She accepted and was told to stand inside the waterfall in a cove. Like it was kind of like a cocoon of sorts. She felt really, really free, and she really felt self-love. She felt this with all of her being, and she was very grounded in this moment. And she's trying to put into words how this felt, but it didn't do it justice, really. As she took in this energy, she was asked to seal it with a symbol that she unknowingly had chosen for this time that beautiful pink flower. As she threw her flower into the waterfall to ritualize the ceremony, she saw it sink, and as it did, the water in its place turned the most beautiful color red. All of this instantly charged her, and she knew it was time to honor herself in her power. Later that day, she told her friend Marley that she'd had the most amazing experience at the waterfall. She asked, "Was it at Kwan Yin's waterfall?" I was surprised by her question and asked her for more information. She explained that Kwan Yin's statue was in one of the waterfalls on the island, and sure enough, as she scouted around later that day, there it was, a beautiful statue of Kwan Yin tucked away on some stone shelf in the cove of the waterfall. She believes that Kwan Yin had called her to her sanctuary. In Kana, Hawaii, there are many beautiful statues of Kwan Yin. Near one statue that depicts her holding a lotus flower, she said this to her: "Here are my sacred instructions. First, have mercy upon ourselves. You have endured much in your land." It's interesting that Kwan Yin called that lady to the waterfall, and then she had the experience of throwing her flower in there, then the water turned red. So Kwan Yin always hears and answers our prayers, and no special ritual is necessary to contact her. However, you may feel more heart-centered connection with her through the use of flowers, especially red or pink flowers. For instance, hold a blossom, gaze at a budding plant or bouquet, or draw or look at a picture of flowers. And those who work closely with Kwan Yin often chant the mantra, heal to the jewel in the lotus flower. And here's a prayer that will help invoke Kwan Yin if you want to use it. We can say it together. Beloved Kwan Yin, please hear the prayers within my heart. Please uncover and understand what my true needs are. I ask you for your intervention into the areas of my life that are triggering pain. Please come to my aid and assist and guide me to see my situation in a new light of love and compassion. Please help me be like you and live peacefully and powerfully. So you can call in Kwan Yin, and she helps with self-love. I really like that story. It's really powerful. And so I have an oracle card for you too. But before I read it, I just wanted to ask all of you, how do you give yourself self-love? Is it through meditation? Is it through doing something nice to yourself? Is it through positive affirmations? How do you give yourself self-love? So if you want to drop that in the comment, I'd love to hear. And I'm sure everybody in the community would love to hear as well. So let's see, we're going to do this oracle deck. It's called Creative Consciousness and Healing. Okay. And it's by Joanna Wright. And so the card I pulled is Past Self. I really like this card. It's connecting with what was. Past self, connecting to what was. And it's from the Creative Consciousness Healing deck. And this is what the card says. So the key concepts of this card is reparenting self, inner child work, deep care, protecting yourself, and self-love. We all have times in our life where we have felt alone. This card is an invitation to connect with a past version of yourself that needed more love, compassion, and protection. You can always visit the past versions of yourself using your imagination and intuition. This practice can make a deep, lasting impact on your relationship with yourself in the present. So they want us to use creative visualization. Creative visualization. Here's an exercise that you can do. Close your eyes and imagine a place and time where you needed more support, Imagine that this past version of you is here with you now. Take the past you in your arms and hold them tight. Allow them to have any feelings they need to have. Allow them to express their feelings fully. Allow all of it to flow. Feel this loving energy that cannot be expressed in words. Feel the energy of compassion, understanding, protection, and love. Allow the past you to take this in at a cellular level. Watch as the soft pink light of compassion surrounds both of you with the deepest love. Know that you are changing the present by loving yourself deeply in the past. Tell this version of yourself that you are always here for them, and you're sorry that you didn't get them what they needed. Let them know how old you are now and how you plan to always be with them and support them now. There's also a journal prompt with this card, so if you wanted to do that, you could do that as well. And the journal prompt is, try journaling with a past version of yourself. Tell them everything you needed to hear back then. Assure them that they're never alone and that you're always there for them. So I really like this exercise. That is really, really cool. I like that. And I love the card too. Very beautiful illustrations. Past self. And you could write in the comments if you want, how would you heal your past self? What would you do to heal your past self? What would you send your past self? You can always write that in the comments. The way I would heal my past self when I was maybe a teenager is just to be more confident in myself and not worry about what everybody else thought. Because I was kind of different, in high school. I kind of didn't really want to fit in with the in crowd. I kind of wanted to march to the beat of my own drum. And I'm a life path 5, so maybe that's why I kind of somebody that just is just marches to the beat of their own drum. Like I said, I don't like to be controlled by people, so I like my freedom. But how was your life back then, and how would you send your old self love? I mean, I would give my old self a hug and say, you're doing a good job, and keep going, and you're worth it. And that's what we could tell our past self. You're worth it, and you matter. You matter, and you make a difference in the world. So I really like that oracle card. And the last thing I have is to read something from Daily Rituals. It's a book, and it's by Phoebe Garnsworthy. And it's a book about positive affirmations and attracting happiness and peace in your life. So what I wanted to read today is self-love reminders. So you can write this in the comments if you want. Tell me all the things you love about yourself, or tell yourself all the things you love about yourself. And you could write it in the comments. What do you like about yourself? What do you find unique about yourself? What do you like about yourself? For me, I like it. I like myself because I have the ability to laugh at myself, and I don't take myself too seriously. I laugh at myself and say, you know what, I can make mistakes, and we we all try, and if we fail, we just get back up and try again, so that's tell me about yourself. And so I'm just going to read this, and it says, I love my strength, my wisdom, and my courage, my compassion, my kindness, and my sensitivity, my humor, my good heart, and my positivity. I love my loyalty, my creativity, and intelligence, my motivation, perseverance, and passion, my ability to love unconditionally, my honesty, my integrity, my connection to self, to source, to my intuition. I love my independence, thoughtfulness, and uniqueness. My open mind, my joy of making others laugh, and my acceptance of change. I love my self-discipline, my gratitude, and my ability to dream big. So write what you love about yourself. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by today. It's always nice to have you. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, or if you want to book a reading, it's psychicjamie.com. You can find me on the Electric Spirit podcast on all major platforms. And if you could subscribe, send this to a friend that needs to hear these words of inspiration and self-love exercises. So I appreciate you guys being here, and have a wonderful day. Lots of blessings. Bye.